professional in this day and age has a giant stack of business cards. Now, if you're like me and you're a technophile, most of the information on those business cards is likely to have been transferred to your smartphone, your computer, various other technological gadgets, and you don't really need these pieces of paper lying around. Even if you're more of a traditionalist with your business cards, you're likely to acquire a few that are outdated, a few that you're never going to use, and you wonder, what shall I do with this? Now, you could just recycle them, but somehow we've gotten the idea that it's environmentally kind of bad to recycle pieces of paper that seem to have perfectly good writing surfaces. You can't very well write a shopping list on a business card because it's too small. So, what do? Well, I'm going to show you one thing you can do. I'm going to show you how you can turn this into this. An adorable little hopping bunny that makes a perfectly good toy for your cat. This requires no more folding skills than it requires to fold a letter. So it's very simple. You take your business card and you set it so that it is sitting in front of you with the writing side up. In the end, you're not going to see this side at all. And you put it so that the short end is on the top. Now, your first fold, you're going to take the top left corner and you're going to fold it down so that it's lying across this side, like so. This takes a small amount of care because you want your fold to be as exact as possible. Once you've got it so that it's lying perfectly flat, as much as you can make it, across the edge, you're going to give it a very, very good hard crease. And then you're going to unfold it. Next, you're going to take the top right corner and fold it down in exactly the same manner. Now, this is somewhat easier since you can use your first fold as a sort of a guide, so that when you've got the tip meeting the fold line, you can be pretty sure that you've got it more or less exactly where you need it. Once you've done that, you're going to make another good, hard, solid crease and unfold it again. Now you see you've made an X with your folds. Next, you're going to fold down the entire top edge right from the middle of the X, like so. So you have to make certain that your fold, it might be easier to pick it up like I'm doing, that your fold is exactly in the middle of that X, which can be pretty challenging. As you can see, the reason we're using this kind of paper is because it's sturdy and it can take this sort of creasing without falling into a heap. Once you've done that, you unfold it again. After that, you're going to make what is enchantingly called a book fold, so that your paper is going to be closing and opening like a book. So you're going to take the entire half of the paper and fold it over so that it's lying on top of the first half, like so. Once again, I know you're seeing this coming at this point. You're going to give it a good, hard, solid crease, and then you're going to unfold it once again. Now, as you can see, you've made an asterisk, going this way, and then diagonally. Now, you've set the foundation for making your bunny's ears, although you can't quite see that yet. The next step is to turn it over so that you're seeing the plain side up. This is the side that you're going to see pretty much from now on. You poke it in the middle, and what you should see is the top part sort of coming up slightly and the bottom as well. Now, this is the most challenging part, so I'm going to show it a few times. The people I've shown this to before have generally had some difficulty, so if you don't get it the first time, don't feel stupid. You're going to take the bottom parts here, these two creases of the X, just the bottom parts, and you're going to fold those flat along here. So I'll show that from a couple of different angles. I'm taking these two bits of paper so that these triangles, this one here and this one here, are going to fold flat along the edges. As you can see, what this is obviously doing is popping the other part up. That's fine, that's what I want. Once I've folded this down, you can see that this part has popped up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to poke this with my finger so that it falls down in a triangle shape. I'll demonstrate that again. I have the piece that's poked up, and I'm going to take this pointy edge and poke it down with my finger so that you have a perfect little triangle. I'm going to unfold that and demonstrate it one more time because I know this can be a tricky one. It took me a few tries too. You take these two little triangles, you push them down flat, they'll meet in the center, and at that point you have this piece which has popped up, and you poke the center part of the outcoming fold, you push that down, and you end up with a perfect little triangle, like so. Now the next step is to take the right hand fold of the triangle, so you see this part comes up, and lay it over the other side. Now you can see some writing again, but that doesn't matter because that will be hidden in the end. Now you remember the first book fold we made, where the paper folds over itself so that it opens and shuts like a book. Now we're going to do that again with this part, so that this edge here, the rightmost edge, is lying along the center crease. In order to do that, you're going to make a bit of a fold here along this folded part, but that's okay because that's what you want to. So we are going to make this fold like so. Now you have to get it as close as possible to the center fold, and it looks like it's going to stop this triangle from folding back, but if you do it carefully, it won't. So you can fold that triangle back over. Now the next step is to fold this triangle over the first, so that both of the loose triangles are over on the side. Now we're going to do the very same thing. We're going to make another book fold so that it meets the center. Again, this is somewhat easier once you've done the first fold because you have more of a guide. You want them to meet exactly in the middle and not overlap at all. So you make that fold, then you turn it over, and you can fold the first part over. Now, as you can see, you've got an arrow pointing up. Your next step is to take that arrow and flip it over on its back. This part of the fold is going to become the bunny's body and feet. Now you're going to first take the bottom half and fold it up, not quite to the tip, but to a place just under the tip, about here, about on the 7 on my card. Yours might not have that, but you can probably find something to tell you just about where you need to fold. So you want just a couple of millimeters poking out. You're going to give that another good fold. Then you're going to take this top edge that you've just folded up and fold it back down again onto the bottom. This can get pretty tricky because you're dealing with fairly small bits of paper at this point. Now, the good news is that you're virtually done. You see it's trying to hop already. So you turn it over, you set it so that these are the feet of the bunny, so that it's sitting solidly onto here. This fold makes the body, and as for the triangle, mine is poking out a little, which is fine. You push it in, and you fold the two triangles up together to meet, and as you can see, you've formed the bunny's ears. So you've got a perfectly formed bunny, just like the first one. You've got the ears, the little nose, the body, and the feet. Now you can take these bunnies and make perfectly good cat toys out of them by poking your finger down along this so that the body is collapsed onto the feet. Then you give it a good snap with your finger, snap it right off, and it hops. If you're skilled with this, you can make it hop quite a good ways. It's an excellent cat toy, and you're recycling. Brilliant! I found this fold in this book, Origami by Gay Merrill Gross, and she is the creator of the Hopping Bunny fold, which is based on the traditional hopping frog.